Just told Lukas about the concept that's going to end my career forever. But
stay tuned. It's a hell of a show.
This will be recorded on nowhere. It'll be only live, and that's who will know about it.
Wait, I'd love if you did like a live stream. It was like Joe Biden in the audience. Like, yeah, I love the show.
I would get Joe Biden to my show.
I think you could. If it was like live streamed, you could. How many degrees of separation do you think you are away from Joe Biden?
Not enough. I don't know. Could be more.
I'd love to run into him at a party.
Well, what I was going to say, Lukas, is no way Joe Biden's going to be in the audience at my show. He's going to be on the show, featured comedian, 40-minute set. I want him there.
He does 2 minutes. He's like, wow, that went by quick. Bye-bye.
He does 30 seconds. He goes, oh, where am I on time?
I thought that was a 9-minute bit.
Oh, never forget that. I used to do this old joke about when I went to a mic and saw a comedian do 30 seconds, a white comedian do 30 seconds on slavery that bombed, and then like looked like he was going to cry, and he went, I thought that was going to be a 9-minute bit. That's
one of my favorite stories of all time because it's awfully relatable.
Yeah.
Because I do racist bits.
And you always think they're going to be really long.
Oh, no. I always think they're short, but I do racist bits. That's the main thing.
Oh.
Not the timing of it.
That's so important. Racism is so important.
Yeah, I time those perfectly.
How are you feeling about your racism lately? You could do more.
I'm only doing 3/5 of what I could.
Yeah, good compromise. Good.
Yep. Welcome back to the podcast.
Welcome to Two Nosy Meerkats, everyone. Today we are solo, except for you, and we're so happy.
Hey, because we always have room for Jesus.
Sorry, I guess we don't.
That was Eliyahu burping for you.
I love Elijah. What a flake.
Do too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's never there when you need him.
Yeah, he doesn't do good skincare.
No, yeah,
that's why he's invisible. Be like, hey, dude, use this cream.
This is a trending topic going on right now. Lukas, how much do you know about retinol?
Oh, I use it. I've used it very often.
You use retinol?
Retinol? Oh, yes. Yeah, I use retinol every night.
I didn't know. I only learned about this today.
And it shows.
That's why when you look at me, my face is sagging. I look sad.
Okay, wait. How did retinol come up?
There's a big Twitter discussion, which I'm still on through my burner account. Although apparently that's ending soon, and there's another app called Blue Sky.
What?
Yeah, Jack Dorsey, who used to run Twitter, created another Twitter app. Basically it's Twitter, but not Twitter. And it's called Blue Sky. Because when Elon took the blue checks, it made the app almost unusable. You can't tell if anyone's a fake account. The blue checks are the only ones who reply in the viral tweets. They're the first replies. And they are all pretty standard issue weird guys. So it just makes it a tough use. So they're doing Blue Sky, but I'm still on Twitter for the baseball content. And sometimes you see people arguing about retinol. And one person said it was what is it called? St. Ives apricot scrub of our generation.
St. Ives?
Yes. Yeah. St. Ives.
St. Ives?
Yeah, she's French.
Yeah.
You should honor her heritage, but I guess you don't like to do that.
Oh, please. I don't respect the French.
Yeah. How long is your racist towards French people bit?
Oh, my God. Hey, how much time do we got? Can I tell you, I was actually talking with my mom this morning because we were watching Ted Lasso. Because my mom is staying with me, and we were watching Ted Lasso, and it's an episode in season 3 where they're in Amsterdam, and it's a very, very sweet episode. And my mom said, "You have to go visit Amsterdam. You would love it." And I was like, "I think I really would love Amsterdam." She's like, "All of the Netherlands is really wonderful. Italy as well. I don't like Paris. They're stuck up." And then just thinking of European cities, but Paris immediately was just immediate hatred.
Something I love about your mother is the way she serves cunt.
No comment.
I mean, my mother is the same.
Yeah.
She serves cunt.
Oh, she does, but it's in a way where I feel included.
Yes. At the Seder, something funny that happened was, as you know, my best friend Juliet is going through a breakup, and she was going through this breakup at our Seder, and she found the afikomen, which for those who don't know is one of the pieces of matzah that gets like hidden away, and you have to like find it again. It's a fun little game for the kids.
I didn't know what the afikomen was.
Lucas has been faking his Judaism for clout in the comedy community for his entire life.
I have. I'm also not mixed at all.
Wait, Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah, go on. Go finish this bit. Come on.
That's it. That's the whole bit. Rachel Dolezal.
Rachel Dolezalman. Okay.
I was gonna say trans Jewish, but I guess you could just convert. Guess that's not a thing.
I love that you reverse engineered the word convert.
Yeah.
Trans Jewish. Yeah, a convert.
A
Yeah.
convert. I love the converts.
Yeah. Name them.
Oh gosh, didn't Ivanka convert to Judaism?
Oh yeah, for Kushner.
Yeah. If you married a Kushner, I bet you'd do the same.
I'd have to, because I'm not really Jewish. I'd have to. Yeah.
So we're looking for this afikomen.
The afikomen, yes.
And my friend Juliet finds it, and she's all excited.
Where was it?
I don't remember. That's why I didn't find it. I'm bad at that shit. She finds it, and then my mom looks at her and goes, "You see, things are really looking up for you."
Wait, did you tell the Hilaria story?
Oh no!
This is my favorite thing.
Wait, which element of the hilarious?
The baby name.
Oh yeah. So my parents live in the same neighborhood as the Baldwins, Alec and Hilaria. Which, by the way, something crazy is that when the stuff about Hilaria Baldwin faking her accent first came out, my dad was like, "Yeah, I knew that." Like because he went to her yoga studio, and he was like, "Everyone at the studio knew. They just didn't really care. Like she's not hurting anyone, you know." But my mom, I guess, maintained some kind of a relationship with them. And then she saw Hilaria Baldwin on the street with a new baby because they keep popping them out.
They do have so many. They have like, is this number 7 now?
This is number 7. This is the 7th baby.
Imagine looking at 4 kids and being like, I could do with 3 more.
Imagine looking at 4 kids.
And being like, not enough. just looking at 4 kids.
Yeah, why don't you stretch your imagination to that? I can't imagine looking at him.
Or your uterus, just being like, "Hey, let's make room."
Imagine looking at your uterus. What?
I didn't think that through.
Lucas is imagining.
You said stretch, and I immediately thought of like that.
That's what you think of when you think of stretch. You're just digging yourself deeper.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, Lucas is always thinking of uteri.
Okay, go on.
Oh yeah. So my mom says, "Oh, I hope you're doing well. I'm sorry to hear about everything that's happened. I'm sure your family's going through a rough time, but I'm giving you all my love." And Hilaria's like, "Thank you so much for saying that." And then the baby starts kind of cooing, and my mom starts talking to it. She looks up and goes, "What's the baby's name?" And Hilaria Baldwin says, "Oh, it's Hilaria." And my mom said, "And why not?" Like, so compassionately, so sympathetically, and serving so much cunt.
It's so passive aggressive.
And why not?
Oh my god!
But that's also crazy considering Hilaria Baldwin is not her real name; it's Hillary.
Yeah. Isn't she from Boston or like somewhere?
Yes,
yeah,
she's from Boston. Wait, Hilaria Clinton? Is this anything? 15 ways.
Donde hasta la emails?
15 ways Hilaria Clinton is just like your abuela.
Oh my god. Oh well, I just imagining her talk with like a Spanish accent is doing me in.
Oh, what's it doing to you?
It's making me feel some stuff.
Whoo, Lucas Arnold. Well,
Yeah.
Lucas, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I did an hour of stand up for the first time.
That's incredible.
This past weekend, I went down to the University of Delaware to do an hour. I did not tell them ahead of time this is my first time doing an hour, but it went okay. It went all right. They were very, very nice. There was this dude called Jay, who's one of the students there. Shout out to Jay, who before I went on, like 10 minutes before, he was like, "Are you guys ready?" And everyone was like, "Woo, yeah, we're ready. Are we gonna have Lukas Arnold on?" And I thought that I was about to get on, and he was like, "In 10 minutes." And I was like, "Huh, what the?" Because I was setting up my camera. I was like, "What's going on?"
Did you end up having an opener?
No, I didn't have an opener, but the host like did a good job of like doing like a little bit of like bits at the beginning to like get the crowd going, and then I went on. But when I went on, I was like, "Hey, anyone else kind of mad at Jay the way he faked out my introduction in like 10 minutes ago? Like, we should all beat him up, right? We're gonna beat him up, right?" Like,
that's awesome.
And so I got them on my side with that. I was like, "We hate Jay. We hate Jay."
Yeah, I thought it was weird when you burned him at the stake in front of everyone.
Well, they suggested it, you know. It's like,
yeah. You gotta pander to the audience.
If there's anything I love, it's joining in with mob mentality. I love it.
Baby, improv
I love
everywhere.
it so much.
Violence everywhere. So
what is burning a witch at the stake if not yes and?
All right. Well, that's all the talking I'm ever going to do in my whole life. That was it. That was the pinnacle of conversation. Yeah. That's it. You know, when they asked me if I saw Goody Proctor with the devil, I said, yes, and yes, and we all did.
Oh, God. I don't know what Goody Proctor is.
It's from the Crucible.
Okay.
That when the Crucible is my sole source of knowledge for anything witch trial related. But I do think maybe we should start more witch trials.
Ooh.
I do think there's not enough witchcraft.
That's a great premise for a comedy show, or people that you put on trial for being a witch. Too many people would volunteer, though.
Yeah, I actually, in my most recent roast battle, I was referred to as a witch, but not in a mean way, sort of in a like...
In an anti-Semitic way.
Yeah, well, honestly, yes, but sort of in a like factual way, as if to be like, this is like 100% true. Like Gabby self-describes as a witch.
Yeah.
Which I actually like is not true. But now I'm like, should I start?
I think you totally could. And then put yourself on trial being like, yes, I'm the problem. It's me. Yeah. You could do it. But another thing that happened when I was on stage for my hour, if you don't remember, but as I got on stage, I realized only when I got on stage that I didn't talk with the hosts about timing or the light or anything about like timekeeping or keeping anything like that. And so in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, how the hell do I figure this out? So I like took my watch off and I put it like on the stool next to my glass of water so that anytime I went to get a sip, I could be like, oh, yes, okay, sip, sip, sip. And so I would do that. And so I created subterfuge.
Oh, he's in the CIA.
Oh, yeah,
that's
baby.
That's very smart. How did you like... I don't know, like, I feel like this is sort of a silly question, but how did you plan or segment your set so that you kind of, like, timed everything out to be an hour? Like, was there kind of, like, one topic that you were like, I'm here for 15 minutes, and then I transition to here, and then, like, how did that work for you?
First off, that's a very silly question. Yeah, no, I have a pretty good sense of how long each bit of mine is, because they're also like, I tend to do longer bits, I think, and so I was able to write everything on one sheet of paper, and then I had them grouped by like subject matter, and so like I would have like 4 jokes per subject matter, and then I had like 6 different groups, so that they were all around 10 minutes a piece generally. But then like I very occasionally added stuff in when like something would come to mind. I was like, oh, this reminds me of something else that I wasn't planning, but I could put in. But it was just a story that was fun. Like when I sort of trolled these 2 Hasidic Jewish boys trying to get me to join their Chabad.
Trolling boys.
Yeah.
That shit rules, bro.
I'm selling merch. Trolling. That's such a terrible thing.
Okay, first 2 Nosy Meerkats t-shirt. Trolling boys.
No, delete. Control Alt. No. We're not. No.
And on the shirt, it's two Hasidic boys, and they're kissing.
Well, that's exactly what they weren't doing.
Not enough of, you mean? What are you talking about?
Okay. Have I never told you the story?
No.
Okay. So
you gotta tell the story about what you did to those boys.
Okay. I will tell you what
Lukas,
I did.
tell us what you did to those boys.
I will tell you what I did to those. Okay, so I was stopped on the street. Well, they were handing out these like little cards of like rules to live your life by, and there was like, if you want to learn more, come here. That was what the point of it was. It was like rules to live your life by, and number 7, there were 10 things. It said number 7 was don't engage in any homosexual behavior, and I was like, I need to engage in conversation with these fine young men. I need to know what's going on. And I played dumb. I was like, hey, what does this say? And they said, oh, it says that you should not engage in homosexual behavior. And that's exactly how they said it. And I said, why? And they said, well, sex is they said, marriage should be between a man and a woman because only a man and a woman could make a baby, which is the only reason two people should get married is to create a family. But it was like that kind of point of view. And so I was
right one.
Yeah, the right one. Yeah. Exactly. The one that I told you about.
Oh, yeah. You told me about that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So they said that, and they were like, oh, that's the only reason you should get married. It has to be between a man and woman. And so I said, oh, darlings, you haven't lived. I did say that because that just came to my mind. I was like, I have.
And then you flicked your limp wrist.
I did. I was like, oh, darlings, you haven't lived.
Then,
no, but I then asked them, I said, can I ask you a question? It's sort of like a hypothetical. And they said, all right. And I said, what about a Jewish man and a Jewish woman who are about, maybe they're 60 years old. They each have their own families. Their spouses have died. But they love each other. They want to get married, but they're both infertile at this point, nor do they want to have kids. Are you saying that they shouldn't get married? And then I don't think they realized what infertile meant because they said, well, they can still try. And at that point, I was like, okay, I was like, edit. We are ending this scene right now. That went down really well at the college and telling that story.
That is funny. Well, also, Lukas, think about it. Like, from the Bible, Sarah, the original...
Bible Sarah?
Bible Sarah.
In Juno. Bible Sarah.
As opposed to regular Sarah. Yeah, my girl, Bible Sarah. You know how sometimes they'll be like, oh, short Sarah, tall Sarah? Bible Sarah, regular Sarah. So Bible Sarah.
Wait, what did you actually mean by Bible Sarah?
No, so she was like 99 and wanted to have a baby, and God like gave her a baby.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe I'm getting that wrong. I feel like my Hebrew school education was like
I'm up to because I was imagining the word CERA, so I was like, what the fuck?
Like Michael's,
like Michael. I was just stuck in that spelling in my mind.
Michael Sarah's brother, Bible Sarah. The secret Michael Sarah brother. Oh
no. Okay. Bible Sarah.
So she was like 99, yes. So maybe they're like, oh, Bible Sarah could do it, so can they.
And you know what? That is exactly the context that I was missing. And now that makes a lot more sense to me.
What I like, though, is that those boys were definitely like, oh, well, they can still try it. Like, they thought that they had popped off a cute little joke, you know? Yeah.
Or like, they were like, oh, this guy doesn't know what's up at all. We're going to teach him about how shit really works.
Yeah. You should have been like, hey, you ever heard of Bible Sarah?
Yeah. Hey,
you know what she
We're
did?
having our first kids at 100. We're like, we got time. Like,
did you find, was the University of Delaware audience, like, what was the composition of kids? Was it like was it very diverse? Was it more like centrally located, like kids from that area?
It was your preference. It was mostly white. And
I just want to go on the record and say my preference is all white. Not mostly. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. It was like a good mix of people. Yeah, it was a good mix. It was a lot of like
I
improv
love people
kids.
of all races. Yeah. Can I say that? Can I say that I love everyone?
Please dig deeper into this.
Well, because I winked and I saw Haley laugh and I was like, I shouldn't have done that. That was stupid.
Yeah, no, it was a very nice group of people. I will say it was an extremely rainy weekend. It was very, very rainy, and it was especially rainy Friday night, which is the night I did my show. Can I ask, do you feel like in the shows that you've done on rainy days versus sunny days, do you feel like the audiences on average are lower energy on rainy days? Because I have noticed that.
Lower energy, yes, but sometimes more fun because I feel like they're like, we're here, we're not going anywhere, there's nowhere else to be.
Yeah.
And they like completely settle in.
Yeah. I've experienced that, but on average, I've noticed people a lot more energetic when like days are sunny. Sure. And so it was a little lower energy. And so I got a little, especially like doing that long of a set for the first time, I was like very like, I felt very anxious. I felt a little bit clunky, but everyone said they had an amazing time. And
Good.
I was really happy about
Was
that.
it like consistent laughter all the way through?
Yeah, pretty consistent.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it was it was interesting. There were like some moments that got extended laughter that I wasn't expecting it, and a lot of the other ones it was maybe a little bit shorter than I was used to. So it was slightly different rhythm than I was like used to. But I was like, all right, just roll with it. It's okay if it doesn't go well. You're going to get better at this. But yeah, it was fun. And then afterwards, I was invited to like have like drinks with them where they were like, yeah, we're gonna sing like Irish drinking songs and stuff. And I was like, I'm afraid I think I'm a little bit too old to like hang with. I was like, this is, and so like I came up for like a little bit, but then I went home very soon because they were just so nice. I felt like I was like being rude if I said no. And I actually did. It was nice to like hang with them and like learn about like what they were planning on doing like after college and stuff. But I was like, I need to go.
Yeah, that's one of those unfortunate things. You have to keep a bit of a barrier between,
exactly.
Like, people see you perform, and because like I think definitely. But I mean, that's a really cool experience. Did you find while you were on stage that there was a certain amount of like you were like really rolling in it at some point, like really in a rhythm, or did it take like more stamina than you realized?
I think there were moments where I really found like a rhythm, and like moments where I was actually doing like a little more crowd work and I felt like really good about it, which was cool. But it was also that I never look at notes during shows, but for this one I did keep my notes by the glass of my glass of water because I was like, I'm not so sure that I'm going to be able to like remember this whole order. And I did need to look back like a few times because I was like, all right, throw pride out the window. Just make sure they get their money's worth for like just the duration of the show and stuff. And so like I bit the bullet and I had notes by me.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah, it went really well.
And how did
really,
you like
nice.
Delaware itself?
Delaware itself, I thought was delightful.
Yeah,
I really did. It's a beautiful state. It's very green. It's very quiet. I had a very nice host, an Airbnb host who was a delight. And yeah. And then the workshop afterwards, the day afterwards was so fun.
Oh, tell us about that.
It was just such a breath of fresh air. It was so much more intuitive than I was expecting. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be so unprepared. I've never taught like a workshop in anything before, but like we did some warm-ups. We did like some introductions with each other. And then like we did like sort of basics of like mic etiquette and talking through. I also took a moment to like talk through. I was like, hey, is anyone like really scared of trying stand-up? Let's talk about like what specifically makes you scared. And like people were like, oh, I'm afraid that I'm going to forget my material. I was like, that happens. And then there was this girl called Robin. I remember her name. And she talked about how she was afraid that her ADHD was going to hold her back.
You said, girl, do not worry about that.
Yeah. And Jack Holmesley of Matt and Jack Comedy, shout out to them. He was there with his, I think it was a college improv group because it was like a big festival going on that weekend. And so when Robin came up with that point, I was like, hey, Jack, you and I know each other and we know a lot of like the comedy community in Brooklyn largely. By a conservative estimate, how many people have ADHD versus don't? He was like 70-30 minimum. And I was like, I was like, that's a very, I would endorse that. I was like, you're going to be in great company
At this point, having ADHD is almost like being bisexual. Like, if you don't have it, like, what's your problem?
And you can say that.
I can say a lot of things, and I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's so interesting too, because I think something fun about having ADHD is that it's what allows for you to reach for that kind of material from the recesses of your brain. Like, I feel like for me, a lot of the times the ideas I get for bits are just like happening sort of while I'm like in the middle of a conversation with someone, or while I'm at the store, or like it's just, and I think that if I didn't have ADHD, that wouldn't happen for me.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do agree.
Robin, if you're listening.
Robin, shout out to you. It's all of what you have are assets, and you are going to use them beautifully. Yeah. Everyone was so funny. Everyone was so funny. I don't want to bring up any bits in a public forum, because I created like a space where I was like, hey, this stays in here. If you can get vulnerable, talk about stuff that you're unsure about. And so I'm not going to but they had really good bits.
That's awesome.
They were so funny.
And how did you like helping people structure their jokes?
Well, what I did, I made notes during like everyone's set. Everyone just went up for like 1 to 2 minutes, and then I made notes of like stuff I thought that things could go, or where I was expecting stuff to go. And then I also like asked the rest of the people who were like watching. I was like, hey, what was coming up for you guys? What were you like excited by? What sort of angles were you thinking? And people came up with like great ideas for tags and stuff. It was basically just like a writing session. Yeah. That was it was like a guided writing session. But yeah, it was a delight.
That's so nice.
It was such a nice little weekend.
I love kids.
Yeah.
Ominous.
Yeah.
I love children.
You do? Yeah.
Yeah. Especially acidic boys.
Yeah,
and
you do.
Especially when they're
yeah,
kids.
You do.
Wait, what did we say we were going to put on the shirt?
I've already forgotten. Yeah. Haley, do you remember?
Two acidic boys kissing.
Oh.
But what were they saying? It was like, try it or something. What was it?
You can still try.
Oh my God.
Good merchandising idea. Great job. Very good.
Yeah, such a good idea. This is so palatable. That's my favorite bit. It's like, it's so good for the public.
Yeah, this is so good for us as public figures to have this. Do you think we're public figures? Well, I guess you are. I'm a private figure, secretive in my little house, doing puzzles, alone.
I love doing a puzzle.
I love
Do you know what
puzzles.
do you know what's my little hyper fixation that I've gotten into? A game called Townscaper.
What is that?
It's just a little iPhone or an iPad game.
We're progressive in here. Give me an iPhone or an iPad.
This game is by... but yeah, it's
has ADHD.
Yeah, but it's like a game where it's like it sets up this little grid, and you can just tap and create like buildings and like little platforms, and you can just like engineer a little town or like little groups of islands and stuff. It's just really fun.
Do you remember that movie Welcome to Marwen?
Yes, I do remember.
I never saw it, but it always looked like that was how it was going to be.
Is that the Steve Carell one where he has like a little sort of like doll world? Or
yeah, he creates these creepy little dolls in his little world, and he's pretty scary in it. But from the trailer, I love one of my obsessions is watching the trailer for a movie like 5 times and never seeing the movie.
But feeling like you saw the movie.
Well, because movie trailers now, they literally show you the entire movie. So I'm like, I'm just going to watch the trailer. One thing I did that for was the movie One Day with Anne Hathaway and Jim Sturgis. Mm-hmm. It's a movie from the trailer that I know. It's about these 2 people who meet in college and then... go to their normal lives, and they get like married and divorced, and Anne Hathaway cuts her hair short, and then every year for one day of the year they meet up again. And it's a beautiful story about what it's like after you cut your hair, and it's also about Anne Hathaway's Scottish accent, which is she always does her best.
Nice. Aw.
I think also Anne Hathaway's been in the news a little bit lately, and
what has she done?
Well, she wore
She's
a really
talking
great...
to Hasidic boys as well.
She's talking to Hasidic boys.
Hey, come here.
She wore a really nice outfit at the Met Gala. She's always wearing nice little outfits.
She loves a little outfit.
She loves a little outfit. And she's just cool, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like she's pretty like you could be like, Anne Hathaway's been in the news lately, and it'll always be because she did an interview where she's like, I like cauliflower, sue me. She's corny. I like that about her.
She is corny.
Yeah.
She also likes to eat a cupcake by tearing off the bottom and putting it on top and eating it like a sandwich.
Does she?
Yeah.
Wait, is that real?
That's real. She's done that on a show, like showing like how she tears it off and makes like a little frosting sandwich out of the cupcake.
You know, that's actually really smart.
It's a pretty good idea.
Because what I've always felt about cupcakes, and I've been saying this,
Yeah.
is there's nobody's talking about this. Lucas loves to try and be me. There's too much frosting on a cupcake.
That's why I prefer muffins, is because I prefer the cake to the icing. I'm more of a cake guy than I am an icing guy.
Balance.
Yeah?
I like balance. I like what.
Yeah, you do.
You know what? It's actually making me mad now. In what world does there need to be mounds of frosting on top of this thing?
No one needs that much.
It's too much of a good thing.
I also do you have a little bit of disdain to people that are like like icing / frosting people?
Yeah, they're sick.
Yeah.
and they should grow up. And they're disgusting. They're sick in the head. What's next? You're gonna take a bag, a little fondant bag, and just shovel it into your mouth. Yeah. Ooh, I'm a little pig. Give me my slop. What are you, the little guys from WALL-E who sit there in the chairs and just kind of like hang out?
Well, this is kind of a nice life.
Oh yeah, I will say when I saw WALL-E, I was like, looks fun. They're like sitting there getting fat watching TV. I'm like, yeah,
that looks awesome.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah, I envied them. Oh, when you said dolls, that reminded me of something. I've also been watching Indian Matchmaking with my mom, and I've gotten her hooked on Indian Matchmaking because there's a guy on the show who has he keeps dolls.
There's a guy who was on Indian Matchmaking who is like doing comedy now.
Yes,
in Brooklyn. Yeah. Did you watch that season?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then.
So did my mom.
Oh my God.
Opinions were shared.
I guess pushing that aside then, what's your overall takeaway from Indian Matchmaking?
Oh, my overall takeaway of the show is dating is just as hard with a matchmaker as it is anywhere else.
And say that.
Yeah. That's what it is. Basically, because really what it is, you realize that it's exactly the same as using like an app. That you have like an app gives you essentially a bio data, tells you like where they went to school, what they're looking for, what kind of relationship, or what their religion is, and so on. Like that's all a dating app is.
Yeah.
But it's just it's just a person taking the place of an app and and handing you little sheets of paper instead. That's really the only difference.
But
am I wrong?
I do wonder, and I haven't seen the show, but is that because this person has an incentive to sow chaos and division with their matchmaking for good television?
Yes. It's an interesting thing because
But also she wouldn't fuck up her own career over this show.
No, but then that begs the question, what is her career really? Is it to be a matchmaker or is it to do this show? Those are two different things.
What's next? QAnon's real? We're really going tinfoil hat territory.
Well, next you're gonna say Santa's real or something. I was told about QAnon when I was a kid.
QAnon put money under my pillow when I lost a tooth. The QAnon fairy.
Yeah. Q?
I've spoken on the podcast once or twice about this, but and Haley, don't clip this. I don't want it anywhere. This is for listeners only. When this friend who I had a falling out with, her crazy girlfriend had a name that started with a Q, and she used to say things like, "Me and Q are going here. Me and Q are going there."
That's so Meghan and Harry of them.
Well, I told a friend about this, and he was like, "How does she not know about QAnon? Why does she not know that that's what it sounds like she's saying?"
Two different Americas.
And you know what I didn't consider is maybe she was talking about two different people. Maybe she only referred to her girlfriend with a certain name, but maybe she was QAnon.
That's what I'm thinking now.
Yeah.
What if... Have you ever seen Q and Q in the same room?
Whoa, makes you think. Now,
Kinda.
we have a prompt for the listeners, actually. If you know how to get the tea on two people's breakup who you don't talk to anymore, you don't talk to either of them, but you need to know what happened between them, write in, because I gotta know. I gotta know.
Also, wait, can we talk about the plan that I overheard of, like, you saying the two people, hey, flirt with them?
Oh, yeah. I put two comics on the case. I said one girl should flirt with this girl, and then another girl should flirt with her ex-girlfriend and seduce them, so that between them I can corral the information I need to see why they broke up.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is fine because I'm not toxic at all. Nothing like that is happening. I wonder if someone did that to me, what I would react. I'd probably think it was funny.
Oh no, I would react very strongly.
Yeah, no, I know you'd react badly. I like a little trolling. I'm a pest, so I don't know why someone wouldn't pest me back.
Oh, that's the thing, is that I'm not trying to seem like good, but I think I'm too earnest to do that.
I think you're not a pest is the problem.
Really?
Yeah, I think that you can play a heel sometimes when it's fun.
I can play a
for you.
heel. I can play heel, and it's fun sometimes. I like doing it.
But deep down, I don't think you want to pest people.
No, I never want to pest people.
I want to pest people.
I also never want to be pested.
Yeah, I would never pest you. Pesting is for people who deserve pesting, I think.
Yeah. Wait, do you think that if someone like assumed an identity to try to like learn information about you, you'd be like, oh my God, people want to learn about me?
Yes, I would. I would be like, that's iconic. Like, I'm a legend. Like, everyone's obsessed.
Oh no, I would hunt you down and confront you in a public space.
I know.
I want a jury of your peers to hate you.
But if I hated you and you did that, like, that would make it so much funnier. I'd be like, oh, I really wrecked him, you know? Like, it would be so, like...
To be fair, it's very easy to wreck me.
I do it every night.
You do it every day.
I peg you every night. What?
What? Oh. What? You know, I've never been pegged.
I did know that.
Yeah.
You never said it explicitly, but one could figure.
Yeah.
Are you sad about that?
It's something I would be open to, but the thing is,
listeners, let him be pegged.
The thing is, I have experimented with consenting partners with like around my butt, and it's never gone well. I've never enjoyed it, and I would be open to like trying if like I'm like, oh, maybe there's something I'm missing or like, but like thus far it's not something I'm into.
That's a progressive
It's
guy.
just not.
Yeah. I've not done very much butt stuff either.
Do you want to? Me?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like George Costanza. Like that level of neurotic. Like if someone came near, I
can't do it, Jerry.
Jerry. She looked at my butthole. What am I supposed to say back? Hey, find what you're looking for in there. I do a good George.
What are you gonna do? Store something in there?
Oh, I was gonna say something fun about pesting.
Oh yeah.
I started
catch my asshole. What a pest.
Yeah, the pesting is best done in the butt. That's true. Pesting's best done in the butt.
Yeah. Go on.
In my grad program, there was a professor who has some like outdated views on certain things, and the class format was bizarre. We all had to come up together with this like limited series arc based on a book about the Trumps. About the Trump family.
Limited series arc based on a book about the Trumps.
Yes.
Okay.
So at one point we're like breaking an episode, we're pitching, and he says something like, well, maybe there should be like non-consensual sex at the end just to show the power dynamic. And we're all like, no. We hate that.
All
it
right.
like triggered a bunch of us. It was really upsetting. And one of my friends was like, well, I don't know, maybe it could be like a just weird sex scene instead of non-consensual. Like maybe she could seduce him. Maybe she could like get on top. And he said, no, that family would never let a woman get on top, which was crazy. So the next day I came in.
Okay, I believe it though.
Like,
the vibe rings true.
The vibe does ring true, but you can't say that. Like, you can't say that.
No, you can't make the... actually, or the exact opposite, they're always on top.
Something's going on, but we don't know what. And he conjectured something that was
whatever it is,
wild.
it's all the same though for the whole family.
Yeah, no, whatever it is, it's uniform. The sexual practice.
Exactly.
It's like the hammers, how like the army hammer is like
yes.
in a line of like 3 generations.
Yes, that evil streak.
Yeah,
yes.
of sexual predators.
Yes.
So the next day I came into class and I had been kind of quiet up until this point, but I started going crazy and I was like, okay, we're going to have a scene where Donald Trump's mom fucks her family lawyer. Write that down. And much to my surprise, the professor was like, what an interesting idea. And he starts like buying into all these crazy ideas I'm pitching. So suddenly I'm pitching that Marla Maples and Ivana Trump are at the same WWE event and one of them slaps the other and her wig falls off and goes flying into the ring. And he's like, all of my classmates know I'm trolling. They're like, Gabby, please stop. Like, we all actually have to write this. Like, please stop. But I couldn't stop. And I kept going. And but what came of it was the most incoherent show arc. I mean, it would ruin my writing career if anyone saw those outlines. But he was all into it because he was a crazy person and he didn't know that I was pesting.
I love this so much.
But that's a situation in which I will pest. I will pest when someone really deserves to be pested, I think.
So it's sort of like, I want to like, you're kind of going like the Sacha Baron Cohen route. Like, I'm going to be crazy so that this guy can reveal his crazy.
Yes.
That's what you were doing.
That's what I like. I mean, I'm leaning into that brand of, I'm very like inspired by that brand of like pest comedy.
Yeah. Oh, I love watching it.
Yeah.
I love pest comedy.
I have like a high tolerance, I think, for cringe. Like the more cringe something is,
yeah,
the deeper I'm into it.
I love it, but I can't watch it in one go. I need to take a break. If something is getting very, very intense, I'm like, I need to like cool off.
Is that why you like haven't watched Succession? Because that's ultra cringe.
I just haven't watched Succession because I'm like, I'm too deep in Drag Race right now. I can't.
Ooh, what season?
I'm finishing season 12 right now.
Well, who's on that one?
That was the one with Jada Essence Hall, Gigi Good, the 2020 season.
Oh yeah, the pandemic season.
The pandemic season, yeah.
That season was awesome.
Yeah. Oh my God, so good. The number right at the end, like before they get to the final 4, so good.
Yeah.
I was watching that last night while also playing Townscaper. I was like, this is awesome.
They had the reunion on Zoom.
Yes, I started watching that.
Oh my God. What's hilarious about that is you're seeing like Zoom humor again. And it's like, it really like brings you back to what a like bleak time that was. Because I'm like, why were we all joking like this? You know, it was things like, oh, sorry, you're on mute. It was like, oh my God.
Oh my God, yeah. But I was also like learning also throughout the season of like what Sherry Pie did.
Yes.
With the
Which is
catfish.
crazy because she was, I think, set up to be the winner of that season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she was very talented, and you're like, okay, this is a very talented person.
Yeah.
But also a terrible person.
A terrible person.
Yeah.
If you guys watch Drag Race season 12, I think focus on the performances of Gigi Good, Jada
Crystal
Essence Hall.
Method.
Crystal Method is so good.
So good.
Incredible queen. Yeah. I've been loving getting into Drag Race, and I feel like it's like, I'm not a drag queen by any means, not yet, but it's really influenced the way I see art and performance. Like there's a moment in All Stars 2 where it's like the whole episode with the mirror reveal. Do you remember that?
No.
It's where Fifi O'Hara is like talking shit about.
I'm not up to this one.
Oh, okay, then I won't spoil it. But there's a moment where like one person's artistry is really kind of like, it's this one queen who's very kind of like loud and out there and maybe not like a super polished queen, but very like effortlessly funny. And there's one queen who's kind of dragging her. And then in that same episode, Alaska really does something in a challenge that celebrates that queen. Ooh. And it's so
this must be an All-Star season then.
All-Stars 2.
All-Stars 2.
Yes.
Okay.
All-Stars 2 is, I think, considered one of the best seasons of reality TV ever.
Was that the one where Katya was on as well?
Yes. Oh, she's so good in that.
Oh, I need to see that one. I know I need to. I've seen the something read you wrote you.
Yeah.
That number, which was like Katya was like Katerina Petrovna Zamolodchikova, but everyone calls me Katya. I remember
rules.
that, and I was just like, yeah, you've got my attention. You're good.
Man, yeah.
They're so funny.
I'm so grateful to the drag community. And guys, drag is good.
Drag is good. Go see local drag. Go support your local drag queen.
Yeah. And if you don't see it, become it.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
You came up with that right then and there?
What if I was like, no, I've been sitting on that for 10 years.
Just a little refrain.
Waiting for this moment. If you don't see it, become it.
Indeed. Should we get into our listener submissions?
Let's
hit it.
Okay. I've got it on my phone. If you want to pull it up right now.
I have it. I got it.
Perfect.
All right. I got number 1 pulled up right here. All right. Hey guys, I am asking for advice on how to be as extra as possible.
Yes.
I am training to run a half marathon, and the date of the race is almost exactly on the 2-year anniversary of a life-changing injury that I had. This injury derailed my life and forced me to change career paths, so I will be feeling its effects for a long time. So I need your advice on what power moves I can make at this half marathon. Let's show the world that the bitch is back. I like this.
I love this.
I love a positive personal revenge story on the universe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think maybe like glitter bomb could be good.
Ooh, light up shoes.
Like wheelie. Heelys, yeah. Just run the race in Heelys. What could go wrong?
Yeah. Who's gonna come after you bring up your injury? No, that's what you do is you do shit that is cheating, but you use your injury as an excuse.
You like yell things
You drive
at
it.
the I love that. I was gonna say you also can yell things at the spectators, but be going so fast that it's kind of like drive by, like bitch. You know?
Yeah. Oh my god.
There's so many ways to be extra.
Maybe wearing something that's very long, like a wedding train, to like how that really extends back.
A wedding train.
Well, something that's really long and drags behind you. Something that causes an issue.
Yeah. Announce a really personal life update, like on a sign on your body, something like I'm getting a divorce, but like while you're running. Oh
yeah.
Yeah. So just like you're a conundrum in all the ways.
Or like you're getting a divorce.
Yeah.
if you're reading this, you're getting a divorce. Or like if you're reading this, you're adopted. Something like that. Just like
you go up to random people in the crowd and whisper like, your husband's not who you think he is. And just run away.
Oh my god, I tweeted a while ago that if I was a sentient spider in the Charlotte's Web universe,
and you're not.
Hey, who says I'm a little spindly. I could be a spider.
You're totally spindly.
I'm totally spindly. But I said if I was that kind of a spider in that universe, the messages I would write in my webs, I would try to convince people that they were in a coma. And that this was the doctors trying to tell them to get up, and I would write, "Your wife is losing hope. Please, please try to wake up. It's 2:57 p.m." Like,
and you say you're not a pest.
This is Dr. Schoenberger. We like.
Oh, Dr. Schoenberger is a pest. But
yeah,
you're not a pest.
No, that was the angle. And so I was wondering, like, if you want to be just like try to write messages to just like fuck with people psychologically.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely
There's so much possibility.
Go the psyop route.
Yeah.
Or you could do a different tack where you like you kind of introduce like a really controversial like pop culture opinion. You know, you're jogging and you're like Beanie Feldstein was the better funny girl. Something really...
A tepid but controversial opinion.
Yeah.
A nice tepid opinion.
There's a lot you can do. I wish you luck, and I'm glad you recovered from your injury.
Yes. Congrats to you for doing this half marathon.
Yeah, that's very
wonderful.
Good. Okay,
do you have
let's
another
see.
one pulled up?
Yes. Somebody wrote in asking, I guess specifically me, how for advice for going on a date with a girl because it's their first date with a girl.
Oh, yes. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I think talk to them like they're anyone, like a friend or...
treating women as people?
Just
You can't do that.
Look, I don't usually do that, but for this segment, I would say that that's something to do.
Yeah, for a first date, treat a girl nice.
I think it's one of those things where, like, you've heard Claire Olshansky's joke about how, like, they were afraid to date women because, like, with a man, if a date goes wrong, it's like, oh, whatever, like, maybe they didn't like me. But if a date with a woman goes wrong, it's they see what's wrong with my soul.
Yeah,
I think it's important to remember that, like, not every femme is your mother or my mother. That was really specific advice. I think it's important to remember that not every femme you meet is my mother.
And that's their problem.
Yeah. And they're fucked up for that.
And that's what's wrong with them.
But it's like they can't perceive anything more about you than like a man would. Like they just enjoy yourself. Like, you know, just speak to them like you would speak to a friend or and hope if there's chemistry there is. And if there isn't, then you've had a nice time going out.
Yeah.
I think that's my advice, short and
sweet. I think that's just generally just really good advice for going on a date pretty much with anyone.
Yeah,
is regardless of gender, is just that is the best way to look at it. Be like, hey, I'm going to try to have the nicest time. If there's any one thing I could add, it is do not be afraid to be yourself, because ultimately a good relationship is where you feel most free to be yourself and also the best version of yourself.
That's so true. I'm going to cry. Lucas, what do you do when you go on a date with a lesbian? Which I'm sure happens to you a lot.
I hate that I have an answer.
Yeah, wait, what's your answer? I didn't expect you to have an answer.
Okay, well, okay, what? Okay, okay.
God damn it.
When I'm on a date, just in general, I will try to. I will be interested about I'm like, what are you into? What, like, books, TV shows, movies? Like, what do you like? What's your sense of humor? I want to learn about you because I want to find shit that we have in common and shit that we can like enjoy about each other. Yeah. So it's a very a first date is very exciting. Yeah. And so if you show like your excitement, I think that's always a good thing. Yeah, just understand what your intentions are with the date and then express that. Yeah. Just like, don't be afraid to express your intentions, but also always, because it's an issue I have is that very often, like, you'll try to like make the other person like feel good, whether you call that people pleasing or anything, and maybe you don't always listen to, do I actually like this person? Yeah. And I have in the past with like someone who's like, oh, I'd love to see you again. And I would just sort of say yes and never, not that I even didn't like this person, but I didn't ask myself, how do I actually feel? Right. And so really just like make sure you know how you feel about someone and you're under no obligation to see anyone longer than you want to. I think that's what good I idea, have to offer. But you're also
under no obligation to stop dating each other.
You are under an obligation to go on dates with lesbians, though.
Yeah, always.
Yes. Regardless of your gender or sexuality, you have to go on a date with a lesbian.
That's what I'm saying. And if she's not my mom, what are you doing? I out my mom. Like, my mom's gay. My mom's gay. It's true. It's not true.
And why not?
Why not, folks? Okay, final question.
All right, final question. Hi, Meerkats. This is a weird one. Everything I smell is a bad smell.
Oh, boy.
I have good personal hygiene. I eat reasonably good food, and my house is in okay condition. First off, you need to gas yourself up more. You're being very diminishing with, like, the qualities of your life. I think you need to be a little more positive. But, okay. Everything is okay. Is this something I should see a doctor about? Or is there anything I'm doing / not doing that can make things better? Yeah, you should see a doctor.
It's not your fault. It's your fault. Sorry. Whoa, that is so on you. Everything you smell is bad smell, but your hygiene's perfect. It's stupid. Yeah. Yeah, you might have long COVID.
Very much so. Because I've heard people say that like everything tastes bad. Yeah. Oof. It's like, and smell and taste is connected. And so, this definitely sounds like a medical issue. Yeah. That's what,
You know, if you pay us $5, Lucas will examine you. In a doctor way. In a doctor way.
I'm be like, yeah, you know, like they do in medicine.
Not the way he did to those Hasidic
wait,
boys.
I got Jesus. I got a joke answer. You ready for a joke
Yes.
answer? Move out of New Jersey.
Hey, come on. Who's this freaking guy?
Yeah.
Vesuvius, Gabagool, Mozzarella. Oh, Lucas, should we potentially announce the next thing we're doing with this podcast?
I think we yes, I think we should. Let's do it. Hit it.
Okay, so last week we had Meredith Dietz on, we had David Dobbins on at the same time. And for those who don't know, because you wouldn't know the inside baseball of this, we didn't plan for that, right? Like, we actually accounted that they would kind of do lightning rounds with us and come in for 20 minutes at a time. But we were having so much fun with them that we didn't stop them. So what we're going to do next, we're going to put out a Google form if you are a comedian and you've ever had a comedian who you want to get to know better, but you're afraid to get to know them in the real world and you kind of think it would be fun to just like riff with them with us.
Yes.
We will put out a form. You can put out a couple of preferences of people who you want to speak to. We'll pair you up. And we will have 2 guest episodes going forward with that format in mind.
Indeed, yeah. I think we're probably going to do like, hey, put your name and then like a top 3 or top 5 like comedians you feel like you would really want to try to have some banter with. And we will make you guys feel comfortable. We'll make it like a fun time because, yeah, it's always going to be a fun time.
Yeah, that's right.
Nosy Meerkats, yes. I think that's pretty much it from us. Do we have anything else we want to plug? Anything?
What do we want to plug? I am the new host at the Roasted at Grove 34 show, which is super exciting news.
You're such a good host on that show.
I love doing that show. It's a really fun time. It's a, it is a classic roast battle format, but it's also one where clever jokes are rewarded. It's one where trans people don't get misgendered. It's one where people are pretty respectful to each other. And, it's a deeply offensive time sometimes still, but only because that's the format and not because everyone actually hates other identities. Yeah. And it's really a blast, and it's some of the most fun I've ever had. So I'm really excited for that opportunity.
I'm excited for you as well.
And shout out to Dan Wicks for making that happen. Shout out to Dan Wicks.
Beautiful Dan Wicks. I'm going to be upstate for a little bit, but I have a couple of shows coming up. May 10th, I have a show in Cobble Hill, and the following week I'm going to have 2 shows on Tuesday in Long Island City, Wednesday somewhere, but it's a show hosted by Caleb Clark and also Art Kai and Hayden Arrington, I believe. Yeah, I'm going to be on a show of theirs that they're starting, which I'm excited. Yeah, that's it from me.
Any final words for these lovely people?
Any final words? Ilaria Baldwin, call me.
And Rachel Dolezal.
I kind of want to make it. No, I want to have a Donde Está la emails as a t-shirt.
Ooh, Donde Está la emails? Ilaria, call me.
Ilaria Clinton.
And most importantly, little boys, don't stop trying. I think that was a mishmash of the actual content of this, but
God,
that's not what we meant.
All right.
Well,
do you have any final words?
Yeah, Lucas, I'm really glad this episode's not going on air.
This was a lot. Yeah.
This was a lot.
This is why we need 2 guests to just like diffuse this energy.
Yeah. It's really just 2 hosts every week and we're the guests. We kind of nod and smile. I'm really excited for that, and I'm excited that you guys keep listening in. Thank you to Stand Up New York. Thank you to
Stand Up New York. Thank you to everyone that has been on this journey that now we're past 100 episodes. Onward and upwards.
Yes, onward and downwards.
Onward. There we go.
We've been 2 Nosy Meerkats. See you next time.
See you next time.